All over our cities, along our coastlines and across our green and pleasant land, an invisible army is fighting a never-ending war. Their enemy is the filth that we create and the vermin that thrive on it. Welcome to the hidden world of the grime fighters. On Grime Fighters tonight, Pest Controller Dave cleans out some crocodiles.
The shorter time you're in here, the better.
Litter Picker Lou gets a top score.
180!
House clearers Bill and Luke have a lucky escape.
This is what we have to put up with.
And Ratman Pete's on the trail of a wily rodent.
Oh, ma'am, she said there's a rat there with a baby in its mouth. Had a baby in its mouth.
Like cities all over the UK, Wolverhampton has its fair share of problems dealing with the legacy of drug abuse. The city constantly tries to stay one step ahead of the user's total disregard for the dangers posed by leaving their drug paraphernalia lying around, where local residents, and especially children, could get pricked by a discarded needle with potentially life-threatening consequences. Today, council enforcer John has gathered together a crack team to tackle one of the drug users' favourite hangouts in some woods used by children as a thoroughfare between the housing estates and local playing fields.
This area here, it's only a matter of 15-20 yards from the play area. It's used as a drug den for people shooting up. We've got down here, we've got, as you can see, the needles, and it's a nightmare for us to clear up. It's frightening what could happen. One of these kids comes along here and they can get infected seriously by these needles. We're going to arrange for a litter pick, but it's a specialised team that has to come in and remove this type of waste.
The specialist team called upon to tackle the dangers in the woods and none other than Wolverhampton's proudest litter pickers, Lou and partner Dave, fully protected against any eventuality. Let's hope the lads can rise to the challenge. In Dagenham, East London, Pete, the council's pest controller, has been called to a house by an old lady who seems to be sharing her garden with an extremely unwelcome visitor.
Well, we've got a lady here on the corner. We've got a rat problem in the back garden by all accounts. It's possible we might be lucky and see something today. All right, pest control.
Oh, thank God for that. You just missed him. You just missed the thing.
Have we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just missed him.
Just missed the rat.
Just missed the rat.
He may have missed the rat's morning constitutional, but Pete's determined to get as much information as possible on the rat's daily habits, and experience has told him the best place to start.
It's always worth asking people instead of trying to go out there and find the rats or mice or cockroaches. If you ask them, they give you a narrow down because they see them all the time. Well, I don't live here, she does. So it narrows my work, it makes my job a little bit easier.
The lady is only too happy to fill Pete in as to what it's like sharing her garden with the wily rodent.
He came along here,
Yep.
crossed here,
Yep.
jumped over there,
Yep.
and went under the shed. His daughter was sitting here,
Yep.
and when I said, I'm sure I've seen something run by there, and she looked and said, oh, ma'am, she said there's a rat there with a baby in its mouth. Had a baby in its mouth. A young baby with no skin on.
On this occasion, the information isn't too relevant, so Pete needs to investigate further himself.
Oh, it's locked. When we seen the rat, I locked it.
The rat has been using the cover of the woman's fence to go out foraging at the end of the garden, probably, Pete reckons, on the litter left by the local children.
We've got a little hole there going out into the fence. There could have been kids gone, bought McDonald's, which is only up the road anyway from here. So they've thrown the box down. Of course, the rat comes out. You know what kids are like, throwing it all on the floor, not in the bin. So I've picked it up, dragged it through, and just most probably chewed bits and pieces there.
Now Pete's found the probable food source, he can meticulously evaluate what he's up against.
They're very slow, really, rats, when they run. They sort of arch their back like a ferret, and they're sort of like that movement all the time when they run, and they're sort of scattering. So they like to be a bit like undercover, like an SAS bloke, really, basically. They come out and they just want to be in the sort of smallest gap and work their way through. So they come down here, most probably under the table here, drops down there, makes a little dash to the shed, have a look around, waits till he hears no noise, and then he just ventures its way out and goes somewhere down there.
Pete's got a good idea now of how the rat's operating, so armed with vital clues as to where he's going to lay the poison, he keeps the lady up to speed. But suddenly, from under the shed, the culprit makes an appearance.
That is a big one. So buddy, aye.
With the rat keeping a watchful eye, there's no time to lose for Pete to hatch a cunning plan. In Westminster, the council's zero-tolerant grindbuster Jarno is out on his rounds. For Jarno, after his first discovery of the morning, he's got a bee in his bonnet about private commercial waste contractors who don't do their job.
But we'll just have a look at this waste to see where it's from.
With a quick rummage around, it's soon clear that this is no ordinary rubbish.
By appointment to the His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales and the Duke of Edinburgh. Very naughty.
Posh packaging or not, it's all rubbish to Jarno, and the perpetrators need to be held to account. Time to knock on a door.
Yeah, it seems that they're closed, so I'll leave this with a warning notice. That will be the end of the story.
But perhaps Jarno's a bit quick to cut and run. He might just try another approach.
Shall I ring the bell? This is annoying.
Oh, hello, good morning. Westminster Council, Environmental Services.
All right, yeah.
I thought you were closed. It's about your rubbish at the end of the alleyway.
Yeah.
Why is it still there?
I don't know, they collect it every day, don't they?
It's often a surprise to businesses that their contractors haven't done their job, and now they've got Jarno to deal with. Jarno's directed to the front of the shop to dig a little deeper, and he's quick to try and ram home his point.
The problem is a few of your neighbours are spitting fire at the moment.
After a very helpful discussion with the shop assistant, it seems the woman confirms they've been let down by the contractors yet again. Jarno will now have to deal with the rubbish. So Jarno can go on his way happy that this situation's been resolved without the need for a fine, and he's even going to get his council team to clear the rubbish. If you go down to the woods today in Wolverhampton, you'll find litter pickers Lou and Dave togged up and ready to face the scourge of discarded needles, threatening the safety of local school children.
Obviously you could have a young child here playing in the woods, decides to hide here because of his mates playing hide and seek. And the next thing he stood on a needle.
Not only won't the junkies get rid of their needles responsibly, they make the lad's job even more dangerous by hiding all manner of stuff in the trees.
This is the frightening part. They're not always under your feet. They're in the trees as well. They've probably left them there ready for the next time they come down here. But they won't find them the next time, will they? Very good find that, lads. Thank you very much.
The woods may be infested with these lethal syringes, but there's a real feeling amongst the boys working with Lou that they're winning the battle in Wolverhampton.
It's an ongoing battle, especially areas like this, but I do think in Wolverhampton here that we are winning. You know, we've got good people, members of staff really working hard. We go through the night working, we round the clock, to be fair. So I do think standards are improving in Wolverhampton.
In the Cotswolds, pest controller Dave has arrived at his regular haunt, the Cotswolds Wildlife Park. But today is no ordinary day. His quarry may be American cockroaches as normal, but this time they're in with the crocodiles.
You get cockroaches in some of the heated enclosures. Today it happens to be the crocodiles. Unfortunately, she's recently laid eggs. We just have to play it a bit safe. So that's why you guys are going to be outside.
With the help of a couple of keepers, a broom and a bit of wood, the crocs are kept at bay as Dave runs the gauntlet to get to the water feature where the cockroaches reside.
Now we're in, and they'll keep those crocs up there. I'm going to spray these rocks, and because this is where the cockroaches get in.
To us, living with crocodiles is hardly ideal, but to the cockroaches it's heaven.
It is a perfect environment for them. We're looking at sort of 80, 90 degrees in here, and probably 80 to 90% humidity, and it is ideal for American cockroaches.
Applying the insecticide soon stirs the cockroaches, trying to escape the intoxicating fumes.
There's one coming out, gasping for breath. The spray's not going to affect the crocs because one, they're in the water and etc. most of the time, and the crocodiles don't climb, so that the insecticide's up on these surfaces here that are decorative, and it won't last an awful long time in here because of the humidity and the temperature.
The female croc is beginning to get a bit frisky. Could be time to make a swift exit.
We need to get out because the crocodiles get stressed, and we don't want to do that because they're not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but they do suffer from stress. So the shorter time you're in here, the better. We just need to get the male to show himself, and we can get out, or I can get out. These guys have got to fend for themselves.
Now the keepers know where the male is, Dave can make his escape. Coming up in part 2, Pete tries to get one up on the rat, Dave confronts some hornets, Lou's needle nightmare continues, and we're out on the night shift with street flushers Dave and Byrne dealing with their biggest hindrance, other people. Throughout the country, an army of professionals are continuing to dedicate their daily lives to waging war on the nation's grime. At the old lady's house, Pete the pest controller has conducted a diligent survey into the habits of the unwelcome rodent that's taken up residence in her garden. While Pete's in the conservatory, the rat boldly continues on his daily rounds as the old lady offers some more advice.
Now, shall I tell you why they always make their home here? Because it's all light, very light round here of a night, but the big wall shelters that bit off. That's why they always come here, love, because nobody can see and run against that wall. This is the 4th time we've had it.
Yeah.
I can't stand it no more. It's either that or moving.
So the pressure's on for Pete to sort the rat out for good. After all his hard work, Pete reckons that the rat has made his home under this concrete paving stone.
I don't know if anything's there, but if anything is under there, it knows I'm here already. It's got two things, it'll either bite you and bat and stay and hold its ground. If it's got babies, you will have a problem, it will stand its ground. What I do is, I'll gradually lift it up slowly. Well, we ain't got a rat, but we've got a frog.
So after all his hard work, Pete's managed to upset a small frog, but at least he's located the hole, so Pete pops in a bag of poison and another one under the shed. The poison is only attractive to rats, so there's no danger to the frog.
Job done. Another happy customer.
I'll be happy when I don't see him no more.
Within a few days, Pete returns to find the rat's taken the bait, and the lady can now at last have her garden back all to herself. Up in Wolverhampton, litter picker Lou thought he'd just about finished the blitz on the drug den in the woods.
That's not for your everyday turkey, that's for burning the drugs.
But he's found yet another stash of lethal syringes only a few metres away.
You've probably got in the region here 10, 20, 30, 40. You're probably talking at least 80 syringes and paraphernalia, of which we'll start now to box up.
But to make matters worse, Lou's seen another problem adorning the tree opposite.
Now, do you know we've got a dartboard here? If you want to turn round, you can see the dartboard in the tree. There you are. Not many double tops there, though. What do you think of that? 180!
So using his special gloves, Lou carefully removes the deadly syringes from the tree. In total, Lou and the boys have recovered over 300 needles and huge quantities of drug paraphernalia on this morning alone. Boss John seems happy with the progress.
Well, now we've removed or most of the needles that we've found, we can get the guys in now to tidy all the litter up and the rubbish that is in there. But hopefully in about 20 minutes, 20 minutes, all this now will be cleared away and tidy.
With their diligent and dangerous work complete, hopefully the school children who use these woods as a thoroughfare to the playing fields can go on their way, pretty sure that they won't fall foul of being pricked by a rogue needle left by the totally irresponsible junkies. For the grimebusters across the UK, keeping our streets free of rubbish and bin bags is one thing, but what happens to the bulkier items like furniture, sofas and kitchen cabinets that people throw out? In Barking, East London, Bill and Luke make it their daily duty to visit the borough's council estates to pick up the bigger items that the residents chuck out of the flats. One of the most common items are mattresses.
I mean, look at this, look. I mean, this looks there's nothing wrong with it. All right, there's a few stains on it, but you wouldn't want to sleep on it though, would you? But there's people that would in garages. Every single day we're doing this every day, 3 times a day, practically 2 to 3 times a day. Sometimes it could go into 4.
Each block of flats has what's called the bulk room for the residents to put their unwanted furniture. But going into these in the estate's garages, sometimes Luke gets more than he bargained for.
I'm wondering what's going to be behind his doors half the time, really. Well, it was basically went in the garage as normal, went to lift up a mattress, and basically there was just 2 people laying underneath it. We went to walk out the back to see what else was in there, and not realising there's two bodies laying underneath sleeping. I ran.
Not only are there a few surprises in the bulk rooms, often Bill and Luke's job can be extremely dangerous, thanks to a small minority of the more unruly locals.
This is what we have to put up with. You know, silly things like this. I mean, I've had them spitting out the window, chucking money out the window. You see what happened, though? He must have slammed the window and it's broken. And, I mean, nearly at Luke, you see there was a couple of inches off of Luke, hit Luke in the head. You could have filmed him with a lump of glass sticking out of his head just now, you know? It winds you up, yeah. I mean, some people could be nice, so, you know, you get the odd few, same as any walk of life, I suppose, isn't it?
For Luke and Bill, these dangers are an ever-present threat, but as ever, their commitment and dedication to the job is generally much appreciated by the local residents. In the Cotswolds, pest controller Dave has successfully dealt with the cockroaches in the crocodile enclosure at the wildlife park, and now feeling buoyant about his chances with another of God's dangerous creatures. He's come to a house near Stow-on-the-Wold that's home to a huge nest of hornets.
Put the suit on just in cases, and then all I've got to do then is just pull the veil up if they do get a bit leery.
Hornets are about 4 times bigger than wasps, and their sting packs a serious punch. Multiple stings have been known to be fatal, but even a single one isn't that pleasant.
I've only ever been stung once with a hornet on top of the head, and I can vouch for how much that hurts. It lasted a good 8 hours, that one did.
Time now, though, to assess the situation.
They're travelling into a gap up by the joist, up into the roof space. So the best thing to do will be to inject it with some insecticidal dust. That should coat the nest and to get into the entrance. And then as the hornets travel in and out, they'll carry the insecticide into the nest, and that'll spread amongst them and destroy them.
Rather than using a ladder, Dave's plan of attack is to use the sprayer on a pole to avoid getting too close to the nest.
I'm going to have to drop it quick because they'll follow the duster down. That's what's attacking them as far as they're concerned. That's it, the spot. That's it. I was going right into the nest, I'll bet.
As some of the hornets succumb to the insecticide, it seems strange that Dave can't help but to have huge respect for these amazing creatures.
You look at one under a microscope, it's like it's off of Star Trek. They are an impressive thing. You can't take anything away from them, let's put it that way. They've been doing it a lot longer than we have, and they're still around. Shame they're in the wrong place, but there we are.
It's Friday night in the City of London, and street flushers Dave, Byrne and Chaz are starting another shift. It's their job to not only hose down the city's streets, keeping them dust and litter free, but also they have to respond to call-outs throughout the night to clear away pavement pizzas, human faeces, blood from street fights, and anything else that may constitute the requirement for a strong stomach. But the first job of the night is a bit difficult to find.
First job of the night, we've had a call-out for a pavement pizza in Beach Street on the north side, and we can't seem to find it. I think the police have spotted it and called it in. So we've got to act. We've got to find something, and if there's nothing there, we've got to make sure there's nothing there, because if they come back later and see that it's not been done, we could get a defect, which would cost the company money.
After a few minutes searching, eventually Dave and the lads find a somewhat pale imitation of a real pavement pizza.
We found something that looks like it might have been a sick at one stage. I don't know how long it's been here, but we're going to clean it up anyway. Oh, well gutted. I was looking forward to a big juicy pavement pizza, and all we got is a stain. But maybe next time.
Many true words spoken in jest, but with a little disinfectant, the risk of a defect is washed away. Now Dave and the boys can get on with the real night's work of flushing the streets. But tonight is really busy, and for Dave this is a nightmare, mainly because loads of revellers out on the street can really slow his progress. But as always, he bites his lip.
Just dancing. It's all right, mate. You're doing well. I'm surprised you didn't fall over.
For Dave, it was the solitude of the night shift that was so appealing when he first started.
No, I've never regretted working nights. I prefer it. I really do prefer it. I mean, I'm not good around big crowds of people. I'm not good working around big crowds of people. That's why I like nights. But nights is getting crowded now, so I'll have to do a different shift. I don't know what one.
The solitude Dave craves may be being slowly compromised, but there's always something left on the street to cheer him up.
Yeah, we've just seen a pavement pizza over there, so just over the road, and it's a nice big juicy one, so I'm pleased with that. Just making up a bit of dilute Jay's fluid. A bit of a smell to this one, because it's fresh. Burton, do you want to try and get all that out with a squeegee? You might need your tongue for that bit up there. Now look at that for professionalism.
With a quick wash and brush down, the pizza's history.
A lot of chunks in it, but it's quite watery.
But to change the mood a little, Dave's night just got more rewarding.
We've got a nice bit of dog turd to clean up here, something a bit different. We like a bit of variation on here, it keeps it interesting. But there's no way to know for sure whether it was human or animal. But the kind members of the public have trod it in a bit. It does make it a bit harder because it's been spread about. Excrement's definitely the worst smelling of what we have to clean up.
Clearing the poo inspires Dave to reflect on other highlights he's cleaned up over the years.
The best one, I mean, well, it's not the best, none of them are good. But the one that I most remember cleaning up was a walnut whip. And I just can't imagine how the person sort of done it. They must have had really good hip movement. But that wasn't, I don't remember it for the smell, I remember it for the shape. I remember one pavement pizza we cleaned up was like a blancmange. It was on the edge of a curb. So we went to pick it up and it just fell off and it never fell apart and it just wobbled like a jelly. So, knows what they've been eating.
Highlights from the past give way to the grind of finishing off tonight's duties, clearing a cross grid of cement. Oh, for another memorable pavement pizza. Since the filming of the show, Bill and Luke continue to face some unruly residents, and Dave will be back in a few months to yet again take on the wrath of the crocs.